Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Excited to talk today about CM evolveIT 11.7, our latest edition. I'm John Rhodes, and today we'll be talking about the IBM I or IBM Mid-Range Edition. We have two speakers today. There's myself, I'm the Managing Director and CTO of CM First Group. And we have Roger Hammer, who is the lead for the CM evolveIT product. Okay, I'm going to start out with some brief introduction about CM evolveIT for those who may not be familiar with it. And then we'll go into a detailed demo of the new features, especially around CM evolveIT. And number one really on our list is showing off our AI analysis playground. Done a lot of good work there to incorporate OpenAI and Meta Llama into evolveIT for analysis and for transformation. We'll talk about custom reporting, how you can get PDF and Excel output from various scenario-based queries. We'll talk about a new capability to group your code, sort of like we had with menus before, but also now been generalized to more of an object grouping. And we do have some additional capabilities that are part of IBM I that we'll discuss. Briefly about our company, we're headquartered in Austin, Texas, USA. We do have a presence around the world, especially over in Europe with an office in France and development centers in Vietnam and Central America. We partner with Broadcom, especially around their code generators, CA2E and CA Plex or Synon, Obsidian, as some of you guys know it, also with IBM and PTC and Fortran. And really our mission is around building advanced and cost-effective software tools to help you maintain and modernize and transform your enterprise application running on the IBM I or IBM Z. So the people we work with on the IBM I platform really fall into two camps. That one is very happy with their code as it is, be that in COBOL or RPG, but they would like to just be able to maintain it more effectively and faster, reduce the DevOps cycle time, and when they need to make a change, analyze that more quickly and make that change more quickly than they're able to using outdated source scanning techniques or source reading techniques. And I say the other camp is people that are looking to change their code in some way. Really a wide variety of things people are doing, but modernizing the code, maybe that means moving COBOL into a Java environment or JavaScript environment. Maybe that means moving into breaking a monolithic application up into more manageable chunks, or can mean implementing packages and creating the glue that holds those packages together. So as you'll see today in the demonstration, we can help people that have both needs, so both modernizing and maintaining. And what we're hearing about people on the IBM I or AS400, I still call it, is there are some increasing concerns that about people that developed the system 30 years ago, even when it was a System 38, maybe they're retiring, moving on, and onboarding a new team to maintain a package or maintain an application that was developed 30 years ago can be a very daunting task. Some of our customers have tens of millions of lines of code and even over 100,000 compiled objects. And when you get to applications of that scale, it really gets difficult to bring somebody in that doesn't know it. There's also concern about certain software development on the platform may not be supported, and it just may not be modern. Okay, so that's what we're hearing, and our response is our product CM evolveIT. We provide some really state-of-the-art static analysis, and you'll see that in the demonstration. So it really facilitates comprehension by new engineers, even existing engineers, and facilitates a lot of the things that people want to do on the platform. We also provide flexible automated code transformation. We're seeing more and more people want to move to languages that engineers are learning in their university and want to use like JavaScript, for example. And also just supporting existing dev teams, of course, is always kind of our bread and butter. Just people want to be more effective at doing their existing job. All right, here's an overview of the CM evolveIT platform. Okay, so on the left side, we see the ingestion process that we hook into your repositories and models. That might be in Git, that might be a CA2E or Synon model, it might be a CA Plex or Obsidian model. But wherever your source code resides that runs on the IBM, we can probably ingest it, okay, no matter what the language is or what the technology is. So that comes into our evolveIT database, and it gets stored into a big data graph database that is easy to query and API enabled. The new thing we've been working on for the past year or so is integrating AI analysis into what we have already. And that means using RAG. And so your source code, because it's been parsed by us, is already available to our AI engine. And we're able to really quickly turn around the source and get some really good analysis out of it using OpenAI or Meta or whatever LLM that you want to use. And then coming out the end is some nice reports and nice analysis on what you have. It might be component connectivity, it may be specifications, it may be transform code. Okay, so that's really the background of what the technology we have. I'm going to turn things over now to Roger Hammer to show you the tool in action. So Roger, can you take over?
Yes. All right. Thanks, John. All right, we're going to walk through a demonstration here of the CA evolveIT tool. Let's see if you're seeing what I want you to see. There we go. Okay. So as we begin with the tool, we see this dashboard information. The dashboard provides statistics and metrics about your code base. In this case, it's a very small code base. It's our demonstration application, so we don't show customer information. In this case, just 58 programs. We do have information, for example, about statement count, around 32K. You see print files, display, table count, view count. So some general high-level information to give you an idea about your application. And you can see those trend lines that are flat over time. Those will be adjusted based on the update of your application. So let's go take a look at our text search. So our text search capability, everybody's used to searching, so we provide this capability. It's very powerful, really. It provides, first off, it's very fast. This is an elastic search, so it's very quick. It's pre-indexed. And I'm just going to do a fairly general search here for a set cursor. I know that's going to be found everywhere, so we can see, where it is. We see exactly what line it's on, and we can jump right into the source at that particular location where that information, that data is found. Once I'm into a particular program source, I can continue to search and work within that source to learn and understand, other aspects or what's happening around the information, whether it's a field or some kind of logic that I may be looking for. So I have that information for all the different application programs in this case that I am have searched for, also CLs in this case. And so we have all that search information available. Once I have that, I can also export it, CSV, JSON, PDF. So we do have nice export functionality so you can collect the information that you found. And so I'm just going to move on here to some statistics. So we do have a few, just a little bit in this case on the count, but normally we can show a number of different statistics. And let's jump into the asset browser. So I'm going to take a look at some programs. So this is kind of the meat, the heavy meat of our application, where you can find out how the different application components are connected and where they're located in your application. And so I'm going to search kind of everything here and identify one of these programs. You can see very quickly, I get a sense of what's directly related. Other programs, there are 3. We've got a screen and a table. So we can take a look at that information just by clicking call graph, and we see everything in its place. and how it's related to the original request. So this particular program was where I started. It's giving me a called program and all the screen table and other called information here. And I like to look at this kind of more vertical. So of course, what you may want to do is add additional information. So I can add additional calling programs, you know, and I can even, we have the option to do that kind of one at a time, where I can select the type of relationships, or I can select, you know, the different levels that I would like to add to this diagram. All right, so once I have a diagram, I have the ability to, I can interact with it. I can export that diagram. Once I've exported, I can re-import it. I can save the diagram. So let's just save this. And just gotta have another character in there. And we'll save that. And I can close that diagram, go back to my diagrams view, and we see here demo 2, just what I was working with. It comes right back. It's not just a picture, it's actually the interactive version of this diagram. So all of the information in this diagram is, you know, connected to the database and interactive, giving the ability to, you can start a new diagram with any particular component. I can, as I said, add input or kind of calling or called elements. And then I can access, for example, I may want to add notes. So we've got some notes in there, system level notes. So I can add any notes. You can see I can make these notes public, which is the default option, or I can save them just for my own use. In addition, we have direct access to the source code. So we can always go in and look at source code within the application. And since I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you to our AI capability. So I can select any part of an application program, or the entire one in this case, and do a right click to push that into our AI playground. So you can see that source code is shown here and available for analysis. And we've got a number of different approaches to analysis. We've got what we call the explain group, refactoring, database specific kinds of work and analysis, conversion, and also this is COBOL specific for COBOL formatting. So if I go over here, I'm just going to use a general explain functionality, and I'm going to run that, and we're going to get an explanation of this RPG, and it's going to provide a pretty nice format with all English explanations, so you can easily understand it. You can give this to a business analyst, or in fact, you know, evolveIT is very easy to use. They can do this work themselves. So that can give you a nice collaboration capability between your development group and your business analysts. So once I have this information, I can just click here to drop it into the clipboard, and I can then paste it into my document externally, do anything I want to do with it. But in addition, we've got this chat capability. I can ask for additional information. So I'm just going to add a new request here. Get it typed out there. So I'm asking for a list of all the files and fields, and then a set of business rules for this program. So this gives me some documentation that I can work with, along with the English description up there, that can be very powerful in doing, getting the analysis you need, or in fact, again, providing some of that kind of business rule information, so that the business may want to make changes in the application and identify where those rules are and how they might need to be changed. So, yep, a lot of fields and files here. Once this completes, it will begin to generate some business rules. There we go. So yep, kind of working through each section of the code, identifying, again, very English-oriented business rules, describing, what's happening with each area of the application program. So I guess the key here is a number of different kinds of analysis you can do to get information. This is very expandable. So if you have requests beyond what we've included in the application, they're easily added in. We can provide those to you. And then you have the ability to generate additional information using this chat. And it may be that you kind of test your request through the chat, and then, we can add that in as a regular available analysis for you. So you can see it's given very detailed information there. All right. So that is what we found to be very, very helpful. And obviously building this documentation manually would be, an extensive amount of time. And this will save that time and give you the information that to move on and get the work done and improve the application for your business. All right, let's kind of a bottom-up approach, or excuse me, a top-down approach. Let me go do a bottom-up approach here. And so I'm going to go to the views. So I've got a number of views here. I'm going to pick out a view and just build a call graph. So I've got a simple call graph. We can see a view with a table, record format, and similarly, I can add, in this case, I'm just going to add full. So we can see all of the calling functionality, or accessing in this case, to that table. And if I convert that to vertical, we get an idea. So, you can see, all, in this case, all the different functionality within the application accessing that one table. If you're going to make a change in that table, now you've got a good scope for the application areas that you need to go look at and identify where that change might impact the programs and functions in the application. As I said earlier, you have the ability to export this information into JSON, CSV, Excel. Now that output will manage and show you the relationships from this diagram. So you won't just get a list, you'll get an understanding of kind of the one-to-one relationships for every component. All right. So that gets us through kind of the interactive aspects. There certainly is a number of other areas. You can see this diagram is pretty reasonable. We can work with it. We can size it. You will find diagrams that get pretty large. And in working with those, what I find is, we've provided capability here. So here's a node list. So if I want to do a search for one of these nodes, I can either just scroll down. Maybe I'm just going to click on it, right? And it's going to bring that particular node to center. And then, we can exit out of that, regenerate my diagram, and we've got, the same diagram. And so lots of, and of course we can search within these nodes just generically here for any particular node or information in those nodes. So a lot of flexibility to get the information you need. All right, we also talked about the ability to get program documentation. So here's an example of the documentation that we can get. This is for a COBOL application. So we've got program parameter information, all the called and calling, and all, including copybooks. And then just as we provided before, you can get the summary by section, in this case being paragraphs for COBOL, that gives you all the documentation that you would want for this program. So having that, and this is just generated from a single request, And it does take a little bit of time to generate, but once you have it, you've got great documentation, well formatted, really easy to share with others, and you can create a documentation library just for your project. Obviously, this is easily reproducible, so things are going to change. You don't necessarily need to keep it long term. evolveIT is your online documentation all the time. Oops, sorry, get this back over here with my evolveIT. Okay, so a number of other things I want to talk about. John talked about menu. So menu is an aspect that allows us to add for IBMI. Many times customers will have a menu functionality that's external to their application. Could be internal also, but we can add really any menuing or any grouping information that we would like to put into the application to provide a way to kind of connect those components in a way that makes sense. And obviously menus going to connect them to the user interaction that's available. One other area, if you have component types that we don't directly parse or ingest, as John said, through our parsing technologies, or even documentation, we can bring that into the application through grouping we call other assets. These are text components that are text files that can be added in. They're completely searchable. You can view the actual source or text of those files in evolveIT and utilize evolveIT to, we can do additional AI analysis in there also. Business terminology, we provide a way to group many times field names. In this case, you would have I don't think I have any in here, but business terminology gives you a way to say, okay, I've got, for example, a social security number. There may be a number of different ways that is defined as a field, SSN, social number, whatever it would be in your application. You can group those and then give them a meaningful name like social security number, so you can track that independent of the source code names. We also have the business terminology, which is a similar idea, giving the business terminology that you need there. Data lineage gives you the ability to trace field data through an application and understand how it travels between programs and files, things like that. evolveIT is a tool that runs on, of course, a server. Sometimes you'll run it in a cloud server or a VM in your data center. And so it's going to use LDAP, so your users are going to have access through their standard login information. They don't have to have a special user ID and password, and so they can log in through their normal means. Beyond that, obviously we have usage information, giving you the ability to track who's used the application and when, and a number of different areas here in terms of user management, managing actual databases, and other kinds of settings to set up the application. Let me go to one other area just to give you an idea of where to get more information. So in our support site here, it's very easy to use. If you go to, once you get to support.cmfirstgroup.com, go to knowledge base. And if you just move down here a little bit, you'll see this has got all of our applications that we sell and support. But if you go to evolveIT, then you've got all the different information, documentation that's available. But in here, we have the release notes. So these release notes provide you an idea of what's been added in the latest version. As we mentioned, we've got this analyze capability through AI, along with the chat functionality, the custom query and reporting enhancements, menu assets, business terminology, usability enhancements. These are some things that make evolveIT a little easier to use that we learn from customers. We are very customer focused, and so as you utilize your tools and you have suggestions, you'll find that we are very responsive in that area. So this dynamic drop down helps you filter on the type of asset type, code type that you want to search for. We've got this quick source code viewer, which was added to that area for asset browser. Also, we have the snapshot that tells you what was the date that the update was provided to evolveIT, and we give you the ability to label that with a meaningful name. Some administrative functionality here that makes it very automated to work with evolveIT, including that idea of extracting the database catalog, working with Git, and command line, automation to allow everything to keep up to date on a regular basis. And I'll just jump down here. Some of the Elasticsearch, we've updated that information, and a lot of parser fixes where it was needed. Here are some specific areas that we have worked on for the IBM the copy statements with, again, supporting database catalog and DDS, new support for all the different database information, constraints, index triggers, all those areas, aliases, tables, views, and indexes, and then the database catalog itself with pulling everything in that's needed. So a lot of very nice improvements to the tool. I think you're going to enjoy using it, and especially getting the kind of fast information that kind of takes away a lot of that manual effort in using the AI capabilities. That's going to really go a long way to helping you get the information you need. All right, I think it's maybe a little short, but I think we've covered everything. So if there are any questions out there, I'll go back to John and we can answer those.
Sounds good, Roger. We do have a number of questions. Let's see if we can get to them. Okay, there's questions, I guess there's two questions about code transformation. Do we do code transformation? Maybe you could handle that?
Sure. So we do code transformation. We have extensions to the CM evolveIT tool that we call CM evolveIT Meta TX, which enables a number of different kinds of transformations. So, as John said, we work in the CA2E, Synon, and Plex environments, so we provide functionality to transform those. We can actually transform from CA2E to CA Plex, and we also then can help people get from those applications and COBOL also directly to JavaScript and Java. So those are what we are finding to be very valuable capabilities to provide our customers the ability to transform. Obviously, if you're looking for very small sets or just a few programs, the AI capability will give you that ability for some AI assisted transformation. You can request, these languages to be converted within the AI, and then, kind of one by one to provide that kind of transformation you may need. Anything to add there, John?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. I think because we work with a number of parsers, we can handle a number of languages, with our product and get some pretty good results. Now, everyone has different architectures and different requirements. So if someone on the call wants to more in-depth discussion about it, please reach out and we'll be happy to kind of go into that topic with you. Okay, another set of questions. Got a couple here about availability of evaluation versions and how that would work, I guess. Maybe you can handle that as well, Roger.
Sure. So we do evaluations or proof of concepts with customers regularly. We do those, can be on site with your own server, or we provide a cloud VM option if you want to use that. And we basically would take that source code, get it integrated into the tool set through a database, and provide that, as I said, through the VM with your own limited access through your own password, user ID and password through a URL. But many customers, don't all prefer to use the cloud. They would prefer to put it on site. That's okay too. We bring up a server there with you and complete the install. It really does not take long to get everything built into the application, and we'll give you a little training, kind of interactive training to walk through what your needs are and help you understand how evolveIT will work for you.
Super. Also have a question here on LLMs. I guess I'll ask what LLMs we're using now and what our direction is. So we started out with OpenAI, the ChatGPT version, and used the Microsoft Azure flavor of that. And so that's where we're most capable in, and what you saw today, I think, was all around that. Mm-hmm. But more recently, in the last release, 11.7, we've also decided we're going to support an on-premise LLM. We started out with MetaLlama, and so that's also a capability we can implement for people that don't want to have anything to do with putting their source code on the cloud, or even reaching out via an API to access Azure. Even though Azure, the cloud service, is very secure, and I think many organizations are coming around to the fact that, yeah, if you set up your own Microsoft Azure instance in your own private cloud, that's a pretty secure way to go. Okay, but if you do have concerns, we do have an on-premise local LLM available as well. And we're looking to support as many LLMs as we have demand for. So we're looking at several, including IBM's Watson Granite. And I think over time, we'll see all the popular LLMs be incorporated, at least the ones that have to do with business and enterprise and code transformation. There's several that are more oriented towards consumer queries and chat that we probably will never have as part of this product. Okay, I think that covers that. Or anything else I can add to that, Roger?
Yeah, well, actually, I was just thinking as you said that, I mean, we use a very API-based, obviously we're a web-based product here, and so we have APIs to these LLMs, but we also have APIs to access all the information in CM evolveIT. So if you have a need to integrate evolveIT kinds of information with another application, those APIs are available.
Okay, super. Okay, I think that covers the questions we have out there. And if anyone has a question, please drop us a note. We can reach us at info@cmfirstgroup.com or LinkedIn, or however you want to interact, and happy to go into more detail on anything we talked about today. Okay, well, super. I think that's it. I think we'll call it a day. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.